Let us solve another numerical problem from ray optics. It's not very important for NEET or JEE Main or Advanced, but you can do it to improve your ability to solving numerical problems. Now, if you look at the diagram, there is a glass prism A, B, C. Its refractive index is given as 1.5. This angle of the prism, also called the refracting angle, is also given as 60 degree. A incident ray PQ, and the angle of incidence is also given here as 60 degree. Now, so here this ray of light from the original direction, it was supposed to travel in this direction. OQN is the normal. Going from rarer to denser, it has bent towards the normal. So this is your angle of refraction R1 in the denser medium. This ray QR is again a ray, refracted ray, but for the surface AC, this is acting as an incident ray. It is trying to go from denser to rarer. It was supposed to travel in this direction. Now, since it is changing the medium from denser to rarer, it bends away from the normal. So this is your angle of emergence. This is your angle of incidence within it. Now, what you have to find out, this deviation, this you must have done. This deviation, if you take it as delta 1, this will be I minus R1. Here, if you take this deviation as delta 2, this will be E minus R2. And you must have learned in your previous lessons how this angle A is always equal to R1 plus R2. And A plus the total deviation, that is delta 1 plus delta 2, is always equal to I plus A. I hope these things are known to you. Now let us apply Snell's law here. At point Q, sine 60 over sine R1 will be mu 2 over mu 1. That is, since mu 1 is 1, so is mu 2, that is given as 1.5. Again, if you apply the Snell's law here, sine R2 over sine E will be mu 1 over mu 2, that is equal to 1 over mu 2, that is equal to 1 by 1.5. Now, so 1.5 is this, sine 60 is known. So if you cross multiply, sine R1 is sine 60 over 1.5, put the value of sine 60. So this comes out to be 1 by root 3. So R1 is sine inverse of 1 by root 3. That if you put in a scientific calculator, this comes out to be 35.3 degrees. Now, since for a prism, as I explained, and you must have studied in your school lectures, A is always equal to R1 plus R2. Since angle of the prism, A is always equal to R1 plus R2 always, therefore 60 is equal to R1 plus R2. So 35.3 comes to this side, so R2 becomes 24.7 degrees. Now put this value of R2 in equation 2 here. R2, sine R2 over sine E is 1.5. So if you cross multiply, you will get sine E. So sine E is equal to 1.5 times sine R2. Put the value of R2 and put it in a scientific calculator. This comes out to be 0.628. Sine E is this much. So E is equal to sine inverse of this much. So again, that you have to put in a scientific calculator. So your E comes out to be sine inverse this, that is 39 degree. And also for a prism, we know A plus delta is always I plus E, where delta is the total deviation. And what is total deviation? Delta 1 plus delta 2. Delta 1 is equal to I minus R1. Delta 1 is equal to I minus R1, delta 2 is equal to E minus R2. So the total deviation delta is equal to this plus this, that is equal to I plus E, taking minus common, R1 plus R2. And this is always equal to A. So I plus E minus A comes to this side. So A plus delta is always equal to I plus E. This you must have done in your school days. So now bring A to the right hand side. So delta is I plus E minus A. Now put the values value of I, E and A. This comes out to be 39 degree. So the deviation is 39 degree. Now if you look at this expression, if you keep E here and I here, it will be same 39. So if I and E are interchanged, the deviation still remains the same. This expression, if you write it as delta is equal to, instead of I you write E, instead of E you write A, I minus A, this also comes out to be 39 degree. So what is the conclusion? So the conclusion is the same deviation will be produced for I is equal to 60 and for I is equal to 39 degree. So that's all about. It's not very important, never been asked in last many few years, but you can do it as a exercise to improve your numerical problem solving ability and remembering these expressions. A is always R1 plus R2, A plus delta is I plus E, and when the ray goes parallel to the base of the prism, that is the situation when there is minimum deviation. And you must have also learned if you plot I and deviation, the graph runs like this, and if you draw a horizontal line for this value of I called I and for this value of I called E, the deviation is same. And here when this I is equal to this much and E is equal to this much, then the deviation is minimum. That is what you must have studied in your previous lessons. Thank you.